Hello, one. Hello, all. Welcome to the March 1st edition of Show Business. I come to you as always as CP.
From the horror show and Infotainment, I'm Jaime Fuego.
And from hell itself, I am Lindsey of My 2 Cents and Nonsense. What's up? I'm the devil.
And Chauncey, whose birthday it is today, is just wrapping up.
Yeah!
She won't be joining us, but go over to her channel, wish her a happy birthday, and I don't know. I guess she's gonna go do birthday things rather than talk to us.
Hey, she's
Whatever.
loud, you know. Some of us have lives.
Talking to us is a gift in itself, I think. Whatever. Just quick chat. Hello, what's up, Troy? What's up, Dale? What's up, Jacob? Sumneat, what's up? Zach, and caught up. All right, good. So what would we like to get to first? I mean, it's mostly news that we're getting to, with the exception of maybe two small tidbits of award/movie discussion. But where shall we start, gentlemen?
I mean, we could always start with the white European awards that we had last night. That's always an option. So
yes, the Globes of Gold.
Yeah, everybody threw them under the bus about that last night too. I only saw bits and pieces of the broadcast, but they were making it very plain and clear just the awful disparity that has been going on for many years with that particular award show, which it's always been the precursor to the Oscars. People, right. they see who wins these Globes, and it often can change the tide and momentum for a lot of performances to gain some steam with Academy voters. So,
right. Yeah.
I didn't even watch it, and I heard that it was extremely lacking in color, I guess we could say.
Yeah, which has always been the case. But
I'm on the homepage here. Chadwick won for actor and drama.
Totally warranted. That was I love that movie. I really like that movie.
I do too. I do too.
Yeah.
Also Daniel Kaluuya winning for Best Supporting. For Black Messiah. Terrific performance there as well.
I just got a screener for that today. I'm probably gonna be watching that soon.
SAG.
I know, right?
Benefits. But yeah, the movie you were just talking about before, Lindsey, Nomadland won for director and picture,
which is cool because she's about to go on, or I guess she's currently doing the Eternals. So it's like, how much of that awesome cinematography from this is going to be translated over to that?
And she's doing a Dracula movie too, which is exciting as well. Yeah,
I'm down. Chloe Zhao, that's her name, right? You have my eye, madam. I want to see what you're doing next. You seem like a very good director.
Yeah, second woman ever to win Best Director at the Globes, which is pretty exciting. So,
what was the first? Catherine Bigelow.
Probably, quite possibly. I mean, I can't say nothing. Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, that's a better guess than any I can come up with off the top of my head.
Because she won the Oscar.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What? What's that face mean? Lindsey?
Let me double check this because if it's who this says it is, that no one will ever guess that. Give me 2 seconds to double check here.
Is it a director who also acts? I wonder.
Are they still alive?
As far as I know, they're still alive. I didn't know this person ever directed anything, and I don't know who would ever give them money to direct something.
Oh boy,
well, it's not Jodie Foster then.
It's not. I'll just say it. It's Barbara Streisand.
Oh
no shit!
She directed.
Wow. Yeah. Was it Yentl?
I don't know. What was the? I'll find it out right now. Barbara. Yeah. I just found an article just talking about like an disambiguated like general stand. Let's see if I can find it out.
So Nomadland winning for Best Picture for Drama, Borat subsequent movie film winning for Best Musical Comedy.
I have a note on that, which if you're gonna give awards for Borat, perhaps not Best Actor but Best Actress.
Yeah, which actually was won out by Rosamund Pike, which shocked a lot of people. They thought that newcomer was going to take it. She had all the steam, but didn't get it. So.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me, especially considering, with all due respect to Rosamund Pike, we've seen her do that before. Pete Callan, yes. As you can see, I don't know if you could see it to my my right, stage left. Pete officially euthanized my old chair, and I have a new chair thanks to Pete, and it is here. Thank you very much.
Heck yeah.
Very comfortable. Thank you.
Righteous Pete.
Very kind of you, sir.
That piece of shit dead now. But thank you.
You're dead to me.
So it's just Barbara Streisand and
Chloe Zhao.
who the fuck won the year that Catherine Bigelow won the Oscar? That's weird.
God, you're giving me so much homework right now. I love it. Okay. Stars Born. Yentl. That's the name of the movie. That shit.
Didn't I just say that? I just said that.
That movie's atrocious.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of it before.
It's bad.
Yeah, we were forced to watch it in Christian school. So,
Oh, that sounds fun.
yeah, Mandy Patinkin. I don't know. I always remember him from Chicago Hope, but he's like the love interest in that, where it's almost like a reverse Tootsie kind of situation with the Jewish faith. So
yeah. Except not good. Tootsie's very good.
oh, I loved it. Oh man, terrific film. Anyway.
What do you got, Lindsay? You're cooking.
I'm looking at best. I had to find the year that Catherine Bigelow won the best.
Was it 2012?
No, it was 2010 actually. I thought it was 12 as well, but okay. Now I'm looking it up. Yeah.
So I saw I Care a Lot this week. Fuego. I think the movie's quite despicable.
It was very off-putting to me as well. It did really bother me. It's like a despicable person encountering even more despicable people, but I felt like they glorified her behavior pretty hardcore, and that I really did not appreciate personally.
Yeah, the tone of the movie just doesn't really match what the shit you're looking at on screen. Like, especially with the music. The music gives you this aspirational vibe, and it's like, no, this isn't right at all. Like, it's like a shittier copy of Wolf of Wall Street, which at least you get to laugh at them because they're so despicable and pathetic. Whereas I Care a Lot that they're, I don't know, assuming that you'd be behind somebody in this movie full of antagonists.
You're supposed to root for her, though, despite all of her deplorable behavior. And I must admit, I found the ending very satisfying because of that, without spoiling the ending of the movie.
Well, yeah, and it's still hollow because that part, there's not closure. Like, if that's closure for somebody, then it's really depressing. It's a really depressing. I really hope it's not true because, just fucking terrible. The film is I Care a Lot, which is currently on Netflix in America, but apparently my European friends tell me it's on Amazon over there. So
yeah, well, I mean, people, at least as far as the Hollywood foreign press, thought it was good enough to give Rosamund the Globe. So
yeah, and that frustrates. Again, if you're going to give somebody an award from Borat, it's not Sacha Baron Cohen. It's let me get her name. Hold on.
Well,
I thought Sacha Baron Cohen was better in the trial of the Chicago 7. Personally, I thought he was
which I have
much. Oh, that's a terrific film. It won for best screenplay, if I'm not mistaken. So
I need to see that one too.
It's very Sorkin.
It's very Sorkin, is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it was Cameron that won the Golden Globe for best director. Yeah,
he beat out his ex-wife. That's funny.
So she got the Oscar, but he got the Golden Globe. Which one's worth more? And that,
I'll take the Oscar. Thanks.
Same.
Wait, where is it? Where are you?
He had his chance to be king of the world already. So
yeah,
exactly.
And
he'll probably have more.
A decade.
I mean, I guess Catherine Bigelow. I shouldn't say like Catherine Bigelow is never going to have another chance.
Detroit was great. I don't know why people didn't sing her up for that. I really
missed that one.
Detroit.
Actually, I should have seen that.
Maria Bakalova is her name.
Yes, there she is.
Borat subsequent movie film.
Yeah, her improvising skills in just multiple languages when English is not her first language.
No, it's not.
Was pretty cool.
That's quite impressive. Yeah. But I mean, if you want to watch Gone Girl and root for her the entire movie, then might I suggest I Care a Lot, and then a swift shower afterwards.
I wonder if Sacha Baron won the actor thing.
He did.
You know, I wonder if he did because, like, you know, they're like, oh, he's not going to win director, so I'll vote for him for best actor, kind of a thing. Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just trying to stretch things because sometimes there's those politics going on to it. I think he's good. I really do. Especially in this one because like it was a more downplayed performance I felt than the first Borat. Like it wasn't. He wasn't doing a character, an over the top characterization of Borat, which is a funny thing to say because Borat's an over the top characterization of racial stereotypes. But he's not doing a bad Borat impression by someone who can't do Borat. He was doing a different version of Borat than he had in the past. Yeah, at least that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, and he wasn't. I as much as you want to call the movie Borat 2 or whatever, I don't think he was
Borat 2 Boratter.
Yeah. Boratiest. It's just so fucking strange. Maybe they'll do a James Cameron and get her the Oscar because I don't know. Listen,
see, I thought they were pushing for her in the supporting category for Oscars, from what I was reading at least. Maybe. And I know she was pushed for lead in this one, so maybe that worked to her disadvantage.
If her competition's Rosamund Pike, she's got to win the Oscar. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Rosamund Pike, sure, you hate her, but I've seen that before. I've seen her do that before. And just because she's a lesbian, I don't give a fuck. Like I've seen people praise that. And
homophobe.
Yeah, whatever. If you could call me whatever you want, but the fact is her character is fucking despicable. And there's nothing about it that really warrants
interesting
praise to that. I mean, again, if you're just taking the black and white of Rosamund Pike's performance and Maria Bakalova's performance, and you consider what they brought to the table, I don't even think it's close. But that's just me.
Well, in the Golden Globes, they have a category for comedy and musical specifically, don't they?
And they both went up against each other in that category because Borat's a comedy. And I Care a Lot is a comedy.
I thought
it is a.
I didn't laugh once.
It's a pitch black comedy if there is one. I mean, goddamn, And I was really thinking it was going to be Francis for Nomadland, but the dark horse came in, and that was Andra Day from The United States versus Billie Holiday, which I watched this past weekend, and her performance is fantastic, but the script is very, very flawed, which is why it didn't get any major nominations for picture or writing or anything like that, because the script has some serious problems, even if her performance is incendiary and just incredibly impressive. It's not a very good movie, but it does have some good performances within it, at least in my opinion. So,
the film, Aaron, is I Care a Lot. Which is a Netflix film in America, but apparently it's an Amazon film everywhere else. Apparently, I don't know if that's a fact, but I know it's a Netflix film here in America. That's all I can speak on. Stiff Kittens, am I the only one who liked I Care a Lot? There are plenty of actors who always play the same character. Yeah, you might be.
Well, the Hollywood foreign press obviously liked it.
Yeah.
Well, it's the foreign press, so what do they know?
Well,
the American press.
Like the issue that I have is like the reason people are jumping to defend this movie is because she's a strong lesbian character, but she's a despicable character. Like that's what you want the LGBTQ community to look up to is that character, her from I Care a Lot, because she's fucking appalling in that movie. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if it's just representation, then cool. But I've lost track of what we're rooting for at this point. I'm sorry.
I need to see this. I'm fascinated now.
well, it's almost the equivalent that a lot of my LGBTQ friends have said about something like, Wild Bill in Silence of the Lambs, for instance. It's like, why must these killers be queer? Why must these ruthless people be? It's almost poor representation in that regard.
That's
to
exactly
have
what
that signified with that sort of character. So.
Yeah, sure. They shrug it off as that's just they're just a gay couple, but like, okay, What's your point? She's a terrible character. She's a terrible.
I think I would say like somebody's character has nothing to do with their sexual preference personally, or so I would contend. So.
What's interesting about Wild Bill too is I watched a really cool video on that this week, and they talked about how like in the book, there's like a line of dialogue where like the investigators are going to like a hospital for transitioning, and they're saying like, hey, we're trying to find out who the person is, and the people that work at the hospital is like, no, none of our patients would ever do anything like that. It's like, no, we want the people you rejected.
Oh,
and then we'll narrow it down. We're not going after actual transsexuals. We're going after the people that are like, so it's like, oh, that's an interesting way to like not demonize that community, but also still kind of have that character in there. And I kind of want to read the book now. That's really cool. I mean, I guess you lose things in the edit all the time, but I'm wondering like why there wasn't something like that in the movie. I guess there was the line in the movie where I'm blanking on her name, the lead.
Jodie Foster, Clarice.
But yes, Clarice is like, no, transsexuals are very passive. They're not very violent. But that always, I don't know, something about passive I always kind of took issues with in that movie. Like, they are people.
It's generalizing
like,
anyway. Regardless,
exactly,
it's still generalizing. So like if it's just about representation, then sure. But if it's about strong characters to look up to, I mean, I guess she's strong, but I don't.
Is she physically strong? Like, is she like?
No, she's
she kind of comes into it in that third act where she's faced with those. I mean, she kind of rises to the occasion, I guess. But
yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'll get Emily's take. So I'll shut my mouth as a non-LGBTQ person.
We need to get special music when it's time for Emily to come in and save us from ourselves.
Well, when I get her opinion, I'll see if I'm off the rails or not. But the more I watch movies, the more I feel like, guys,
white people suck.
Yeah. Why are we? Why is everything reduced to just identity politics? Can we just be back to movies, please? Just movies, stories.
I'm with you. Yeah.
But Nomadland though.
Thank you, please.
Yeah. I literally watched it this afternoon. I don't know, like I literally watched it this afternoon. No, I watched it today, so it's pretty fresh. You've seen it, right, Fuego? I think.
Okay.
It's a really unique movie. Like it's so small but so real. Like, and then maybe the smallness is kind of what made it so real. Like all the performances, like understated isn't quite the right word, but like the dialogue isn't as important as like the spirit of what they're saying or like the idea of the scene. Like I have a feeling like Nolan is really jealous of this movie in the way that it gets away with so little dialogue at points. Like maybe that's just me being a dick, but and like her character is like, it's so the story Nomadland, if you don't know, a quick briefing, I won't go into spoilers, but Nomadland, and Fuego to throw in like what you got to if I miss anything.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
So it's about a town called Empire in America. I can't remember what state it was in. It was all built around like a gypsum mine or like a sleet stone mine or something. Or I can't remember exactly. But then the mine went under. And when the mine went under, the entire town just died. Like within 6 months, like there wasn't enough people living there to like warrant it having like a zip code anymore. And again, everyone just they didn't like pack up and move to a new city because like their entire lives are built around this mine that doesn't exist anymore, and mines are going away. So it's about people that just adopt a nomadic lifestyle with RVs, trailer parks, or just living in a van and driving around. And it's kind of just a whole bunch of sequences of slice of life shots of this woman as she's living her life in this style. And it's like it's just a really interesting movie, and like the music is great, the cinematography is breathtaking at some points.
That's the big selling point for me, is that cinematography. Holy crap, is it just beautiful as you are accompanying her on this contemplative, just somber journey. And it's a film that really affected me emotionally, because your heart goes out to all of these people in just situations that in a lot of cases are just beyond their control, and you're just at the mercy of everything that is thrust at you. And it's very effective. It really is.
And like, what do you do when like all your happiness and like the best parts of your life were tied up into that? Like, how do you let that go? Like, it's such a simple but effective way to tell a story. I really enjoyed it. I never would have seen it if it was never nominated for picture. Probably I quite liked it. Although that's not true. I love Frances. I'll always watch me some Frances. She's always amazing. So that
Frances McDormand.
Oh yeah,
Frances McDormand. Yeah, and it's a very subdued performance. Like she has encountered so much from a loss of a loved one without specifying stuff, and obviously everything in her hometown, and then just going from place to place trying to find work and flirting with the idea of this nomadic culture, and living in her vehicle, and it's just it has a lot to say socially as well, especially with economic downturn in certain parts of the country and stuff like that. I mean, it's a film that has a lot
of worst
context to analyze. Well.
I'm dead serious. It's something that I fear is not having security.
I
really
100% feel you on that. I 100% feel you. And then it's like imagine Mad Max if like the world was just like sad instead of like exciting. Like it's just people. I don't know if it's exciting in Mad Max. Okay, well it depends on your interpretation, maybe.
It's a fucking. So wait, let me peel back around. Pete, $5. Thank you. Please stop that. I'll read your comments. Please stop putting money in. Buffalo Bill isn't a trans. He's manic depressive. Hannibal even scoffs at the question when asked. Cross-dressing is officially trans, I think, at this point.
There's also a line in there that's something like he failed to be a trans man. I feel like he's failed at many things in his life or something like that. It's an interesting question about that movie. That's why I kind of want to watch it again after watching that other video I was just talking about. And read the book too. I got this whole other perspective on this movie now. I'm interested in exploring.
Yeah, we actually rewatched it for a patron request for its 30th anniversary. Good Lord. And I hadn't watched it in quite some time, and I thought I owned a copy of it, went out and purchased it on DVD, a nice little collector's edition. And now I'm kind of obsessed with the Thomas Harris stuff, and I went and picked up Hannibal and the other two films as well. And I'm like, I've never read these books, so kind of curious for that proper deep dive, compare and contrast sort of thing.
Hang on. Emily. Is Buffalo Bill a trans?
Hannibal Lecter doesn't think so.
Again, with Hannibal Lecter doesn't think so. What do you think?
I think if he's supposed to be, it's kind of got some horrifying implications.
All right. So, all right, there's your verdict.
Thank you,
Emily.
Because I know there's distinct.
I mean, he has eaten people.
Sorry for you.
That's fine. Well, because I know there's a distinction between pre-op and post-op, right? As far as like,
right?
Yeah. So.
I know Eddie Izzard, who is a very good comedian, who only dresses, identifies as trans. So I listen again. I don't know how the fuck we get to these social topics, but.
For the record, Eddie Izzard's Cake or Death, the whole
that whole
Dress to Kill, that's what it's called.
Dress to Kill. That whole thing is incredible.
Chef's kiss. It's perfection. It's so good. I could watch that 1,000 times.
And he was on that. Well, and what's the Showtime program that is so popular with William H. Macy? It's been on for like a decade at this point now. With
Shameless?
Shameless, yeah. He was in the original British version of Shameless, if I'm not mistaken. He's terrific as the patriarch in that, too. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, okay. Pete says Hannibal was his doctor. I forgot about that aspect.
Oh, was he?
Right. So, all right.
I need to watch the movie. It's been too long. I
know.
Yeah.
I have it. I definitely have it. I haven't watched it in the dog's age, but
that shot of when he first appears on screen after she's like walked by like 5 cages of just like the weirdest, most insane people.
The guy just flings jizz at her. Yeah.
But then he's just standing there.
God, that's right.
Yeah. And we track over and he's just not moving. Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Have any of you seen Hannibal's series?
Not yet, no. But I do love Mads Mikkelsen, so I should see it.
Cecil talks it up amazingly. He says it's tremendous. I did unfortunately watch the first episode of Clarice, and it's pretty bad. So.
Oh, there's a show Clarice?
It just debuted a couple weeks ago, yeah. So it takes place directly after Silence of the Lambs, although they can't mention Hannibal Lecter due to rights issues. So, like, they can mention Buffalo Bill, and they have, like, the girl who's rescued from the well and the senator mother. Like, they're all mentioned or characters within it, but they have to tiptoe around the doctor. And it feels, in all honesty, like a CSI half-assed direct-to-video sequel kind of situation. It's a slog, unfortunately.
That's amazing.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it gets better. I only watched the first episode and I was like, nope, I have a lot of other stuff I could spend my time doing instead. So,
and that's a good point. A lot of great shows have really painful pilots. Like it happens, you know. Like
usually they shouldn't be picked up if the pilot sucks.
correct, but you know, sometimes there's promise. My favorite example is always Parks and Rec. I love that show, and I even like the first season. Like it's got some great moments in it, but that pilot is not it's not an attention grabber.
Red Dragon's the best book by a lot. Silence of the Lambs is a better movie than the book. I know Emily agrees with that. Emily actually likes Red Dragon quite a bit. The film quite a bit. So,
well, that scene where the dude is like, "Do you see? Do you see?"
Yeah, I'd rather Red Dragon than what's the 86 version?
That's what I was just about to mention. Manhunter, the Michael. Yeah.
I'd actually rather Red Dragon, to be honest with you. They're the same. They're off the same.
They're both based on the same book,
right? Yeah. Yeah, I actually prefer Red Dragon to Manhunter.
Yeah, who was it was Brian Cox, I think, in that Manhunter that played Hannibal Lecter.
And Tom Hooper. No,
this is Tom.
Fuck. I forgot.
I'll look it up right now.
Who the killer is.
1986.
Tom Holland? No, not Tom
Holland.
He was fucking 2 in that movie.
It's a little fetus going around just stabbing people.
Who is it? It's TH, right?
Tom Noonan.
Tom Noonan.
Yeah. Okay.
Hooper, Noonan, same letter structure.
Oh, Michael Mann directed that too. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yep. He was coming hot off Miami Vice around that same time.
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Stiff Kittens is right. They spelled it Lektor. They spelled the name differently in that film for whatever reason. Lector.
Ooh, that's interesting. What if that was intentional, like for rights issues, or if it was just a boo-boo?
Maybe. Yeah, possibly.
Getting around certain things that they had to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the way, I've got a book series coming out called Harry Plotter.
Oh man.
So did you say Fuego? Which of the two you prefer?
It's been so long since I've watched Manhunter. I do not really remember it very well at all. I've watched Red Dragon far more recently.
Yeah.
So.
Lindsey?
I'm honestly gonna have to play the same card, which is just lame. But they're all good. Like even Hannibal, I know people are hard on that, but like I'll never forget the look on my friend's face when they pulled the top of the head off. Like that's so iconic. Like my friend, just like her jaw was just dropped in just utter horror. She just like wasn't moving like a cat about to pounce. It was
that came out on my birthday, February 9th. He's out was the poster, and I remember thinking, ooh, I could use this as a never mind.
And it was Ridley Scott, right? If I remember, who directed that, I think.
Hannibal?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe?
I could be wrong. I feel like I need to double check now. Okay. Yeah, Pete Hannibal. Is saying Ridley Scott's Hannibal, underrated.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool.
It's been forever since I watched that one, too. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary Oldman in that movie. Like, that's such a brutal death that he has. Like,
amongst other things, that's brutal.
Yeah, that's fair.
I really need to catch up with Hannibal because they've officially stopped that, right? Hasn't Hannibal wrapped?
It was canceled a few years ago, and fans have been clamoring for a revival similar to what they're doing with Dexter right now. So.
Hopefully it didn't end the same way Dexter did, because that's terrible.
Yeah, I heard the Dexter final season was shit. I didn't watch it, but
I've never watched any of Dexter, but I've heard that it's one of those shows that just breaks your heart by the end.
Yeah, after season 4, I say like that's the cliff, and then season 5, season 6, season 7, season 8, like it all just gets worse and worse. And I guess I was just trying to tell myself that it was okay. And then, my wife at the time, she's like, "This is terrible," and I was like, "No, it's Dexter. It'll be all right." And then stepping away from it, I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess shithead was right. It's pretty fucking garbage."
That's the tough thing when you're so invested in a show and you've been watching it for so long. That was the way I felt about The Walking Dead a few years ago, and then somehow, some way, the show started to get better again. I don't know how, but it somehow yeah. It's I mean, doing the whole Whisperer War stuff and more Jeffrey Dean Morgan and kind of an anti-hero role instead.
I tapped by the cliffhanger ending. I was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
I literally watched the next episode, so like when we see who gets killed, and then I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah. I think that I know who dies, but like that's it. That's the last thing I know of Walking Dead. Same thing with Lost. I was so invested in Lost, and I was like, no, season 6 is awesome, and it's not. It's really.
I've never been able to bring myself to watch the last season of Lost, and at this point, I'd have to watch the entire show just to get there, and I'm not willing to do that.
Take that season 5 ending as the ending.
Just take.
And that's a lot of. That's a lot of watching with those network shows, like 22, 24 episodes a season. It's like, God damn, man. It's a lot to invest.
An hour, like 48 minutes per episode. You're investing.
I love the first 2 seasons of that show. Me and my family watch that together, like every week, every Thursday or whatever, cuddled around our little TV with the bunny ears that we'd have to adjust at least 2 times per episode just to get right. It was a good time.
Yeah. You could tell they ran out of ideas for 3 and 4. Like they were just padding stuff. But 5, I thought, was when they did the time travel stuff. It was quite fun and exciting. Mm-hmm. And then again, like I said, take that season 5 ending as the ending, and you're okay.
Interesting.
Everything just blows up. That's it.
I had a funny thing. So the show Heroes. I watched the first season.
First season's tremendous.
So good. Tried watching season 2. Couldn't do it. And then my mom one time randomly sat me down to watch season 3, and I somehow didn't miss anything. Like I understood everything I wasn't lost. I wasn't confused. It was almost like season 2 didn't even matter. It was a funny experience.
3 was what, the circus season, if I remember, or maybe there was a little bit of it that took place at a circus. I can't remember for shit, but I can very easily be totally wrong.
So a bunch of news dropped Tuesday last week, as it seems to typically do once we have an episode. It seems like there was no news all of January. Then we do an episode, and it's like, all right, here we're just dumping a bunch of shit on Tuesday. First of all, the interesting one is Paramount Plus has announced that they are doing 45 days at home release from theatrical date, which is closer than what people are used to, but it's not quite Universal's deal. So it's I don't know what the purpose of them doing 45 days. 45 days in today's day and age from a theatrical release, especially considering what theaters are doing right now, is it's a long time.
I get they're being experimental, and they need to be, because if they're not, they're gonna just nothing's gonna get better. But they do need to do some trial and error in order to figure things out right now. But 45 days is, I don't know.
Yeah, if Universal has 17 and Warner has day and date, like 45 days is an eternity.
Yeah,
I think it shows their continued commitment to the theatrical experience. And I know that when they were doing the investors presentation, they really made that plain and clear that they believe that once people are properly vaccinated, they are going to be inclined to return this summer to theaters, and that that's the reasoning behind that. What's like a month and a half? It's like, if somebody really wants to see like the new Mission Impossible or something, they are not going to wait 45 days to get it on Paramount Plus. They're going to go to a theater, if they feel safe enough to. So,
yeah, we're gonna see, especially in March, because HBO Max has a couple of releases this month where they just had Tom and Jerry, right? Last week. Which I heard was okay, all things considered.
Oh man, I sure didn't think so.
well, what's important is Aaron brought his kid, and he said they had a good time. So that's the important audience there.
It's the kind of thing that a kid would enjoy, because it's although there's really very little Tom and Jerry in it, which I thought kind of odd. It's more so Chloe Grace Moretz's dumb character. And I mean, Michael Pena is funny. Pena is funny in pretty much everything that I see him. And he has a couple scenes that made me chuckle, but it's really the only times I laughed in the entire movie. So,
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
Do they talk in this one, or are they a silent duo? Okay.
It's weird that they don't talk, but pretty much all the other animals do, except for like one or two. Like there's singing pigeons, and there's a dog that talks, and there's other cats that talk, and Bully. I forget which one is Tom and which was Cherry, to be honest, but. The fact that it did over 14 million this weekend at the box office, because they initially reported 13.7, and then the Monday adjustments say that it topped 14 million. So that was a big surprise. Parents taking their kids out to the theater to see it this past weekend, I guess. So.
Tom is the cat, Jerry is the mouse. I had to look it up, but I realized I didn't know either.
It kind of makes sense, Tom Cat. I should have put two and two together there, but oh well.
The fact that we both missed that's like, we're knocking out of the park on show business here, guys.
But yeah, we have what, Godzilla this month from HBO Max. Disney Plus has something.
Yeah, they've got Raya and the Last Dragon, I believe it is. So that comes up. That's going to be the dual release though. So that's going to be in theaters on Friday, as well as if you want to spend, I think, $30 to see it at home, just like they did with Mulan. I mean, the movie looks pretty good, but I'm going to see it at a theater on Thursday. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen Mulan actually.
It's okay.
I didn't mind it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's all right.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just not interested. I can't even really explain it. I like the original Mulan. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I just can't be bothered.
Mm-hmm.
And Bugs is the bunny, in case you forgot.
I saw that in the chat.
and Daffy's the hunter, right? And Elmer Fudd is like the little bird. Okay.
Are you being funny? Because it's
yes,
terrible.
yes. I'm attempting at being funny.
I say that's horrible. That's horrible. I say.
Foghorn.
Also in the news, Jeepers Creepers is getting a remake. A Jeepers Creepers is getting rejuvenated. Sans Victor Salva, and that's all that's important. Is we never have to talk about Victor Salva with Jeepers Creepers ever again.
I'm down.
Holy shit. Jeepers without the creeper.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing, like, so there's always like, once you realize that about Mr. Salva, yes, thank you, or asshole Salva. Just once you realize, like, it kind of paints the movies in like a slightly different light. So I wonder
two is really difficult to watch when you know the director.
So that's my favorite of the series too, which sucks. So
I wonder if they're going to maintain that, or if they're going to go off in like or I guess because if it's twos, because I haven't actually seen the third one or the fourth one. Which was the
third one's
one?
Terrible.
Okay,
the third one made me laugh out loud. It was so bad.
Interesting.
Saw it in the theater too.
They'll probably get away from that stuff then, right?
Wait, didn't it have like a 1-day release or some shit?
That was what we did. Yep. And I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the franchise, but Cecil and Marsha Parker on our channel are big fans of the Jeepers Creepers movies. So we spent the like $15 for the Fathom event or whatever, and that slow motion scene where the creeper is jumping and people in the theater were laughing out loud, and it was a packed house too. It shows the enduring appeal of the franchise, even though by that point everybody knew what that shithead had done. It had come back to light, and people still filled the house. So I would imagine that with the affinity people have for this franchise, that this reborn, as I think they're calling it, it'll probably get some attention. Who knows if it'll be good or not, but.
Well, I even like the first one, even though like the dialogue's a little insufferable because they're like bantering like a little too much. But like, what's his name is so good.
Justin Long.
Justin Long.
Justin Long.
That first act is quite strong in that movie. The first one where they're getting chased and like you have no idea who the hell. Like at that point, it could be anything that's chasing them. Yeah. And then when there's a reveal of him dumping the bodies, it was like, oh wow, this is quite okay.
It's quite okay.
Zachary says, is it a reboot or are they continuing?
It's a soft reboot from what I was reading, because it takes place in the same town, and apparently now they have this this big like nerd festival convention of sorts with like music and just like geek centric booths and stuff like that, and that is where the creeper reemerges. So yeah, there you go.
Interesting.
Jeepers Creepers, along with Halloween and Candyman, only new horror thing is here. Excited for it.
I'm excited for the
Candyman keeps getting pushed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It does, yeah. Which is unfortunate.
Candyman, you got Quiet Place too, which should be in our homes at this point, but
I keep forgetting that movie exists. I really do.
Critics have seen it. Like that's the frustrating part. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right before lockdown started, we actually had press tickets for it. Like a week before all the shit hit the fan. Can't believe it's almost been a year now. It's almost surreal to be
holding firm.
Yeah, it's March again, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's March again.
Yeah, it's been a year. It's been a fucking full year.
It's been nuts. It's crazy, man.
And it really feels weird because it like at times it feels like it's been forever, but at times it's like Jesus, it was just last week, wasn't it? No, okay.
It's only been a year. Anyway, welcome to my nightmare. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, I would be excited for Halloween if I were.
Not you.
Yeah, if I wasn't me, I'd be pretty excited for Halloween. Whatever the hell that means. And there's also the Saw movie that Spiral. Supposed to come out this year, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one keeps getting pushed too.
They've held pretty firm, I think, on this July release for that. I'm checking my spreadsheet right now for Spiral. Yeah. Where is it?
That had a really good trailer too. I was really excited for that.
Yep.
Samuel L. Jackson's in that, right?
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock. Actually, I was wrong. May 21st in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who's the distributor. Why are they holding on that date?
Oh, well, it's a Blumhouse, if I'm not mistaken, which would be Universal, right?
17 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be in your homes on June 9th.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Kyle. The Collected, which is the third film in the Collector franchise, which doesn't get enough credit. And where's Cody Leach when you need him? Because holy fuck.
Is that a big Cody series?
Yeah,
He
loves the Collector and the Collection. And they're quite decent. So
Cool.
it'd be interesting to see where they go, especially considering where the second one left off. Daniel Skinner, thank you, $2. Opinions on Men in Black 1 through 3. 4 is garbage. Puke emoji.
You're not incorrect.
I didn't hate 4 as much as a lot of people. It's not a good movie by any means, but
I didn't like 3, so 4 was par for the course as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, I mean, obviously one's the best. One is a classic. I could watch. That's another movie I could just watch 1,000 times. That's hilarious. It's got good action. It's aged really, really well. Like in terms of thematics and just the visuals and the story. Like it still hits pretty hard. And even the second one's got its moments. I did like what's his name playing young. What's his name in the third one? That was fun.
Josh Brolin is young Tommy Lee Jones.
Thank you. Because I'm just like I'll just keep going. Young someone of the old someone and the new someone.
He and them.
Exactly.
Do you have that movie with that guy who was in that one movie last year?
I'm so glad I never worked in a video store just because I never got asked that question.
And brilliant point. Jeepers Creepers came out in 2001. It's almost 23. They should hold and release the whatever you're doing in 24. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Just for marketing purposes. I'm a sucker for marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing's a big deal, and it's honestly, it seems like a very fun part of movies to work in. Like, I'd love to be the dude who cuts trailers for movies. That'd be such a fun job. You get to see everything super early,
and you get to direct Suicide Squad.
Exactly.
I was just you beat me to it, man.
What else is in the news? I think I skipped one thing.
It's not one thing; it's another.
Pet Cemetery prequel. Thank you, Chauncey. That's
happy
gonna
birthday,
be
girl. Yes.
Yes, happy birthday, Chauncey.
Yeah, feliz cumpleaños.
Jeff Bueller, who's writing it, who wrote the screenplay for the 2019 film, so they're sticking with their mistakes, apparently.
They're continuing them. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean, he was even talking about this movie back when the 2019 one was coming out, and he was on the press rounds. He was like, I have an idea, and I want to flesh out the backstory of the Micmac burial grounds and the actual, history, perhaps, of what happened.
Can you flesh out the movie you just released first, please? Dick.
You never explain the magic. I'm sorry. I hate it when people do that. Like, you don't need to tell us about midichlorians. You don't need to. And actually, and sorry if you had more to say, Fuego. I'm just gonna say it so quick. Like,
no.
The ending of the new one, I was like, oh sure, I would watch a sequel to this. Do they just go over and does the entire world just get infected by evil people from this burial? No, it was a terrible movie. You're absolutely right, CP. But if you're gonna do anything with it, like, continue that. Like, I want to see the evil family go out into the world. I don't want to see how the burial grounds
backwards
started. Like, I don't know. Yeah, like, bleh. It was a weird movie. And then you and me watched the original one, I think, and I really liked it. It was a little cheesy. Parts of it hadn't aged well, but it was fun.
It's 30 years old. What do you want from
exactly.
If you want some good Pet Cemetery, might I suggest the 1988 version? Like, it's dated. Sure, it's dated, but so is Network, and that still applies today.
Network is very good too.
Oh, dude, Network is in my top 3 films of all time, and I actually think that was a movie that was ahead of its time, to be honest. Especially with a lot of stuff that's said in it. With there are no more countries. There's only Exxon, and he just goes into all of the different oil companies and the different technology companies and stuff like that. It is kind of that film. It still impresses me every time, and with the reality show aspect of. People getting pissed. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it in. I could go on and on about that movie for quite a while.
I love it. You could watch it today and be like, oh yeah, sure, this makes all right. Just replace some things for internet, and you're totally it totally fits. There's a brilliant reason why it hasn't been remade. The original still works.
Yeah, I hate that. Should be the trend. Stop remaking good movies. Remake bad movies. Or movies that were okay but didn't quite work, like Mortal Kombat. Like, yeah, sure, remake that, but don't remake, like, I don't know, like, what was the good movie that guy made, the horror movie in space? Event
Horizon.
Yeah, don't remake Event Horizon. Like, I mean, not that they are, or anyone would. This is a weird example. We should get away from it. But you guys get what I mean. It's like, remake the bad movies or the good movies that didn't quite work. You don't need to remake the classics.
Which, thank you, unintentional segue. Wrong Turn. I think does it well. I think they've, for as much as I listen, I haven't put any content on that movie up yet, but apparently through my brother from another mother, Cody, the backlash is no inbred cannibals, no Wrong Turn, and it's too woke, which I think is hysterical because it's not. It really isn't. There's a gay couple in it. They die really quick. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're pissed off that there's a gay couple in it, maybe you're
watching the wrong movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need to look at yourself in the mirror. You need to do a little self-consideration here.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of other shit going on in that movie. Trust me.
But no one likes Yushku. Bit.
Yeah, it goes in it. Listen, if you want to tell me Wrong Turns 2 through 5 said something, then or 2 through 6 said something, then all right, I'll give. But this, as much as it's not the same franchise, which why is that a franchise anyway? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the direction it took, and I actually thought the ending really well.
Yeah. And you're kind of waiting for something else to happen with the way they have that still shot and the credits start rolling, and you're just like, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen?
Yeah. It's quite impressive. And
I like that movie. I actually quite like
that dude. I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? It's Van Patten from American Psycho. It's the dude with the eggshell business card. The main antagonist in Wrong Turn. The guy with the beard. And I'm like, what the hell? I know his face. I know his eyes. He's the blonde haired dude from American Psycho who has the eggshell colored business card. But yeah, I think Wrong Turn works.
Okay. Sorry.
I dug it.
Yeah, I don't know if the not having inbred cannibals is like, if that's a thing, like what? Okay.
What was the other inbred cannibal movie? Was that The Hills Have Eyes?
Yeah,
yep, correct.
It's been too long since I've seen that. Ooh, excuse me.
But like the complaint has always been, if you're going to remake something, do something different with it. They do that with Wrong Turn, and fuck, I'd love to see a sequel to this. As much
and they could do it. They could do it.
Sure. There's plenty still there. But I didn't know there were that many Wrong Turn diehards. So if you're looking for traditional Wrong Turn, this is not your movie. Which, by the way, you go back and watch the original. There's a lot of like names, people that ended up being, character actors at the very least. Jeremy Sisto's in that. What's his face from Dexter is the lead. Eliza Dushku. The two guys and two girls. The female was on Entourage for a while, and the four actors from that movie all have done things since. So,
well, it was the only theatrical one until this one came out, because all those sequels were direct to video, just kind of schlocky. I watched the second one, as I think I said, last time we did the show, and I wasn't that impressed with 2 that Joe Lynch did, and so I never even bothered with any of the sequels. So
that was it. I was like, no, I don't need to know.
Yeah.
And by the time I had tapped out, there was a fourth one. I was like, holy fuck.
I watched the fourth one at like 4 a.m. at one time. The first one, I mean, so I don't really remember it. I remember it being kind of fun, and I remember her, and I remember the cannibals and stuff. But then I remember just like a few years later, someone said like, "Yo, Lindsey, you see Wrong Turn 4?" And I'm like, 4? What happened to 2 and 3?
I don't know. If you're looking for cannibals and straight characters, Wrong Turn isn't your movie. So really, if it's baked into the pie of the film, then I don't think it's woke. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Wrong Turn it's fine. The movie's fucking fine.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man.
What else we got on the news front here?
So we obviously talked about box office, which there really wasn't much up to speak of. Talked about the Globes, which ratings were down 60% for the Globes this year, by the way, which is definitely something to make mention of. I guess the biggest thing is that there was a new Superman announced. That's definitely something I think we should touch upon. So Ta-Nehisi, who had done some work for Marvel on the Black Panther comic book, has been recruited by J.J. Abrams and Warner Brothers to reboot the Superman films. And we do not have any information about if this would be Henry Cavill coming back or if it would be, a black Superman, which has been rumored. They really haven't given many details besides the fact that, this guy was handpicked and he is a very celebrated comic book writer. I'm not sure if he has any actual screenwriting experience, though. And we know J.J. Abrams has kind of a shoddy history with trying to do Superman stuff. He actually wrote a script a number of years ago before Man of Steel that has been panned by anybody who has read it, saying it was just silly and awful.
Really?
So, so I'm curious about this. I still think that Henry Cavill didn't really get his proper chance to really make an adequate sequel. It just went into the BVS and the Justice Leagues and all that other stuff. So I was hoping he would get a Man of Steel too. I do too. I know Cecil doesn't like it because he's a Superman purist, but I thought it was a pretty solid film, and I thought his performance was good. So
Superman Returns was a pure Superman experience.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah.
Working with his buddy Bryan Singer. Those
I
guys,
don't want to know what happened behind the scenes on that movie. No,
those guys together, man.
yeah.
Good lord.
Ordering lunch together.
Yeah.
Whatever that's code for.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
So Henry Cavill, like I like him. I think he's a good actor, and I haven't really liked any of the movies that he's been Superman in, except for Justice League. But I mean,
Justice League.
The memes caught on. I like it, but I'm also like the 1 in a billion people that kind of likes that movie, just because like it felt like it's a horrible mess. Parts of it just don't work at all. But like I think it's cute that there's like a message of hope, kind of woven in and out throughout it, like kind of comes out of nowhere here and there, but it's something, and it's more than Avengers had. That was just about the power of friendship. So I just respect the fact that even though it's a horrible mess, there's a theme. That doesn't mean it's good, though. I just want to be.
He just said Justice League has more than the Avengers.
It does. Like Avengers is fun. I love Avengers, but it's got nothing going on under the hood except for the power of friendship. And the power of friendship is awesome. But if you're going to be a $200-300 million movie, you can do a little better than the power of friendship.
Yeah, Endgame, Infinity War, Endgame. As much as I'm tired, I have fatigue. I'm fatigued from the fatigue. Infinity War and Endgame were fucking awesome.
They really are.
And I hate saying that. What? So apparently, theaters in New York are open, but we're limited. I had
25% capacity.
25%. Yep, I had it in my notes here. So.
I don't even get text from AMC at this stage, so it's kind of funny. So, are you guys even open over there, California?
Nope. There's drive-ins, and I almost went to a drive-in actually this week to see Nomadland, but then at the last second I was like, So
Hollywood doesn't have theaters open.
We're a hot mess over here right now. Although officially, as of today, supposedly I can get the vaccine because even though I don't work in a restaurant right now, I was working at a restaurant,
during
and during some of it too, during a sizable chunk of it. So I qualify for that, but it's also like there's just no vaccines or appointments available because everyone's trying to get it in their mother. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll be vaccinated within the next month, but I doubt it. And even if I was, I'm probably not going to go back to work, at least not. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that in a recording. The government might hear and deny me my vaccine.
So that's all I have here. Fuego, do you have anything?
I mean, just a little bit more on the comic book side of things. So we did get that Spider-Man title for this third film finally, which I guess Tom Holland and Zendaya, and I think there was one other cast member. They came out and they confirmed that it is in fact called Spider-Man No Way Home. So so no Phone Home, or there were so many different fake titles that were floating around, and just the anticipation of getting some confirmation. But yeah, no Way Home is where people are starting to speculate. They're like, okay, so he is going to have to jump to a parallel universe to escape, because of at the end of Far From Home, where his identity was revealed and all that stuff. So presumably he can't go back to his reality. He's going to have to jump to another one, and that's how that's how we'll get all of these villains from different incarnations of the franchise previously. I don't know. I'm excited. It's a film that I'm quite curious about now, especially because Tom Holland has been doing this damage control where he's like, no, I'm the only Spider-Man in the movie. So now people are like, so were the Garfield and the, Toby rumors, were those fake because they were spotted on set? Or, maybe the fact that he's saying there's only one Spider-Man in it, but he
maybe
didn't
there's
say
multiple Parkers.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's so maybe they don't suit up, but they're still in the film. So I don't know. I'm excited for it, even if they're kind of overstuffing the proverbial turkey, so to speak, with all the different, speculation and announcements of people being in it. But
what was the name of the animated one?
Into the
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that worked for me. If they could somehow ape that, I wouldn't be too pissed.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be fun if they brought back Emma Stone, who was because
the voice of
Gwenny.
the.
Yeah. Well,
Gwenny.
because she was Gwen, and then it was Gwen in Spider-Verse was the lady Spider-Man, right? Or was that not Gwen Stacy?
Spider-Gwen? Boy, God, I'm trying to remember.
Oh, it was Spider-Gwen. You're right. Yeah, it was
Mhm.
Spider-Gwen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I think that'd be kind of fun. A cool callback. Give Emma Stone something to do. Like, I mean, not that she doesn't have things to do. Like she's about to be Cruella de Vil. She's got a lot going on. But I'm excited. It would be really cool if, like, what if it's like not Spider-Man that Tobey Maguire is playing in this, but like Spider-Bro or like Spider-Dude or something like that, because he's from another universe. So they don't have like the exact same name. So that's how Tom Holland can say that there's only one Spider. I don't know. The wording on that has my interest.
I mean, like, people have never lied before in press. Like, what
Yeah, that's true.
Especially J.J. Abrams.
You just beat me to it. It's like, no. It's like, no. Khan's not in this movie. No.
I love how we're
Whole-face
contest
lie.
who's the quickest.
I could just keep getting his sweep down.
Sorry, buddy.
You're good. You're good. No, that was despicable, though. I did not like Into Darkness at all.
I was. Yeah, no.
No comment.
Yeah.
I'm a JJ fan, I guess. I don't know what to say. I'm not a Star Trek fan, so maybe that's it. I had a good time with all three of the modern incarnations.
I love the first and the third. 2 was the one that I had exception with because they were just redoing so much from the series as opposed to 1 and 3, which were pretty much their own thing.
I love 3. So. Beyond was so good. I was blown away by that movie.
I loved the scope of 2. I really did.
Yeah. Go sit in the corner, CP.
Yeah. I like my 9/11 Star Trek. What do you want?
I like my 9/11 Star Trek.
Steph Kitten says Ray Fisher's saying that. I'm assuming that means the Warner Brothers is trying to integrate itself by hiring Coates, but hey, Black Superman.
Yeah, CWB, Warner Brothers. Yeah, that makes sense.
I was trying to dance around those landmines there.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think Warner is just like throwing everything at the wall and just saying whatever fucking sticks. I mean, the Batman, like there's the Batman Suicide Squad, which has some of the old Suicide Squad, but is not the old like what the fuck, Warner? Do you want to sit down and breathe? Because I think you need a minute or 10. Because
I have faith in James Gunn for that, though. I mean, I'm very excited to see what he can do with an R rating. I think it'll be pretty rad.
I'm excited too. Even if I don't always like James Gunn's movies, they're always really iconic and like really just fun. So it's I don't know. I'm always excited for a new one.
I was gonna say Super is pretty fucking strange, man. Yeah.
I'm Splice. No, not Splice. That's a different movie. The one with Nathan Fillion. I guess he's in a lot of them. The Slither. That's what it's called. Slither. I love Slither.
Oh yeah, that's it's about James Gunn. Right.
Yeah. But James Nathan Fillion's also in Guardians of the Galaxy. So if my only qualifier for the movie I'm talking about, that's not going to get you far.
Brilliant point. I love that blonde Kirsten Dunst played redhead MJ and redhead Emma Stone played blonde Gwen Stacy. Funny. Funny.
Switcheroo.
That is hilarious, actually.
Anything else to report?
Well, and then to just keeping with the theme of comic news, I guess that Kevin Feige also did that big address and announcement and just talking about the future of various Marvel properties and stuff like that. He mentioned everything from the fact that Jessica Jones could potentially return to television at some particular point. I believe he also... And I also think he clamped down on the fact that WandaVision is apparently only going to be a one and done. There is no possibility for like a second season, at least no plans at this particular point. But there was also the firm confirmation that Deadpool 3 is going to be R-rated and that is going to be the only exception to the rule. Everything else MCU related, including Blade, is going to maintain the PG-13 aspect of the brand, and that Deadpool is going to be the only exception to the rule, presumably based on the success that the first two films had. So,
did they not see the last Wolverine movie?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And those Blade movies, at least the first two, did very well theatrically, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Blade makes the most sense out of anything. Like that. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Make a vampire movie. PG-13. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Just make the blood pink or something.
Yeah, it'll be like that Dracula 2000 garbage from back in the day, or Dracula Untold or whatever, the one with Luke Evans, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that memorable. Yeah, it's I don't know. Don't make claims like that. Why? What if Deadpool makes 1.5 billion? Then what? That ups. No more R-rated stuff. Sorry.
I would hope they'd reassess, but I mean, shit, you never know, man. So,
it doesn't make sense. Go ahead.
I got some numbers here. So the first Blade cost about 45 million to make, and it brought in about 130. That's pretty good.
Profit.
For especially in the 90s money. That's really good.
That was like 98, I want to say, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
97, yeah.
And then Blade 2 in 2002 cost 55 million and brought in 155 million. So those are very profitable R-rated. Yeah. No. Well, actually, 3 cost 65 million, and let's find out its box office.
It's all cast.
God, wrestlers and stuff that they had in it. My God, I hate Blade Trinity.
It's so bad. It made about the same as much. It made about as much as the first one did. And I'm going to go learn English now. I'll be right back.
Equal. Yeah, that's frustrating. Okay, whatever you want to. I mean, listen, it's not like they can't make good PG-13. I feel like you don't have any restrictions with an R. Just pardon the pun. Just let it go. Make your movie the way you want it to be, and then assess the ratings afterwards. Like, if you start with a rating, you're already neutering some process of the filmmaking.
Oh yeah.
I mean, unless of course you're making like Little Mermaid or some shit out of it, which even then you could you could take it in a dark direction, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough in that regard, for damn sure.
What else you got, Fuego?
There's really not much else, unfortunately.
Yeah, everything will drop tomorrow at all day.
As it typically tends to. So, but yeah, I'm just really curious about what since we got over 14 million for Tom and Jerry. There's actually 3 releases this weekend between we already mentioned the Disney Raya and the Last Dragon, but there's also, we're finally seeing Doug Liman's Chaos Walking, which is that film that's been delayed a few times with Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland. That's only in theaters, so I think I'm going to see that on Friday in the IMAX, and we'll see just what attendance is looking like. And then,
is that her blonde? Is that what I'm thinking of?
What's that?
Is Daisy Ridley blonde hair?
Yep. She's blonde in this one, and I guess she crash lands on a planet where there's no more women alive. It's just all dudes. So, and she teams up with Holland.
People's thoughts, you can see them. They're like, there's like whatever you're thinking, it's like just like projected like a hologram out from your head, except for women. So I don't know how women got all killed off if their thoughts are secret. And this movie has also been described as unwatchable, or at least it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I heard they recut the hell out of it from what I've read and beefed up some effects and stuff, but it got delayed as many times as it did, even pre-pandemic, for what I've heard, with good reason. So,
she just can't escape any of this shit. It's an actress. She really is.
I'm excited though, even if it's just like an utter mess. The idea. First of all, Lyman. I love Lyman. Even when he's not making good movies, they're always interesting. And this could be an interesting mess, and I'm down.
And what's the third, Fuego?
Well, you see, the third is that SpongeBob movie. I'm trying to figure out if it is in fact a dual release, because it's going to be on Paramount Plus. But I was trying to figure out if it's actually going to be in theaters or not as well, because I know it was originally supposed to be, and maybe they're just dumping it on home release. But I'm trying to look on Deadline real quick.
So James,
I don't have much interest, but
James Hester says, I haven't seen any MCU movies since the first Avengers movie. How long would it take for me to catch up on everything I missed? There's 25 MCU?
No, I think there's 22, so he needs about 16 or 17 movies, depending on.
Yeah, they started really picking up and doing 2 or 3 a year after the first Avengers. So you got a
ways to go. It's doable though.
I listen. If your finish line is Endgame, then it's worth the ride, is what I would say. And this is coming from somebody who fucking hated the ride. Yeah, it's worth it in the end if you take the trek. And again, I will tell you that those movies are a little tired, but again, the Avengers movies at the end there, they really made it worthwhile. What do you got, Lindsey? Are we set to wrap up for this week?
I'm just kind of going over things to see if there's anything else I would really want to bring up right now. That's right. Fuego hasn't watched WandaVision yet. Okay, so we'll talk about that next week.
Which I'm catching up. Right, the series finale is this Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I massively sped through it and watched 5, and then I was like, whoa, let me hit the brakes before I have an ending, and waited. So I will probably have watched the entire series by this weekend as well.
Nice.
Oh, and as I look through my list, exciting. We've got Coming to America hits Prime on Friday.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
I actually have Prime.
Yeah.
The good old Twitch. Benefits of being on Twitch.
I'm
That's exciting.
I'm gonna have to revisit the first film because it's also on Prime. So I mean, pull a little double header.
Yeah.
Do a review. Yeah.
What did we discuss? What was the link that we discussed in what was sent out last week? We'll figure it out.
Oh yes, yeah. It's the film that you sent me. The Hide.
Run, Fight, Hide.
Oh, Run, Hide, Fight.
Yeah.
Run, Hide, Fight. Yeah, which I watched.
Quick summary.
I enjoyed it. It was. It didn't really, despite the people who produced it, it really did not feel like a film with an overt agenda at all, in my estimation. And it was brutal. I mean, that opening scene where they drive into the cafeteria and run those people over and just start shooting down the kids. I mean, this was a pretty graphic movie, I have to say. And the acting was good across the board. I thought the lead girl was solid. You've got some Treat Williams in there. You've got Thomas Jane, as you mentioned. You've got Barbara Crampton in there as one of the teachers. I thought the cast was really solid. Aside from there's one bit of dialogue about midway through the movie where the leader of these kids who has the cafeteria held hostage is like, "Do you believe in God?" Like he asked one of the characters.
He's a little too cheesy charismatic. That was the one gripe I have, but it's not enough to veer me from telling somebody to watch it. It's just a cheesy gripe about a character in a film. But
I thought his goons were a lot scarier than him personally. Like like the two tall kids especially who were just mowing down motherfuckers. It was really disturbing. Really disturbing.
So all right, so I can say this with confidence that steering clear of that movie exclusively for who made it is hypocrisy. That's all I'll say, because Woody Allen still has work.
Will he for long though? I feel like he's kind of on. I
mean, nobody's writing him off, so what the fuck?
That's true. Okay.
It's either all or none. Either you hate all people, and this is just Ben Shapiro, by the way, who produced it, which he says things and has invigorated others and hasn't exactly whatever. That has nothing to do with the movie. There's nothing in the movie that feels like, if you didn't tell me who produced the movie, I wouldn't have any sort of connection.
Yeah,
same. I already said I would try and watch it this weekend. I clearly messed that up, but I'll try again for this week. But there's another one that I want to watch too that just came out or is about to come out. I can't remember. Called Safer at Home. Have you guys heard that?
No.
I watched it a couple days ago, and it's one of the worst movies I have seen. Maybe the worst movie of the year.
Oh, goody. I'm excited then. Because
basically envision. Okay, so if you guys saw Host on Shudder where they're having the seance on Zoom, imagine that mushed together with Songbird. And that's basically what this movie is. And it is horrible. And you can tell they made it for and they made it for next to nothing. I mean, they spent there's the Zoom call, and then this lead character, just the the idiocy of the script is what really rubbed me the wrong way, because it takes place in like the fall of 2022 when COVID strain like 23 or something is out there, and everyone's been on lockdown for like a couple of years at that particular point. And these friends, they all take ecstasy on Zoom because they can't go to Vegas for this friend's. Yeah, and one character, and they show this in the trailer, so this isn't a spoiler. This character, he throws down his pregnant girlfriend, and she injures her head, and he's like, "Oh my god!" And cops show up, and then he escapes, and there's a curfew, and he's going through the streets of LA, and he's trying to avoid cops, and it's like, man, I did not like it at all.
Here's my question that I cannot get out of my head since I saw the trailer. Are we supposed to feel sympathetic for the man who accidentally killed his pregnant wife?
For whatever stupid reason you are. Yeah, because he's on drugs, and he's like, oh my god, that movie just made me so bad. And I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she was just like, "This is one of the worst things I think I've ever watched. This is just terrible."
Oh goody! I'm excited then. Okay,
Lindsey, what do you got? You got anything coming up?
Well, if I end up watching Safer at Home, I'm definitely going to do a video on that, even if it's just to like stare in horror, so you just to see my face after I do it. So definitely look out for that. But I got a whole bunch of videos, my 2 cents of nonsense. I've been going through and actually watching some of my older content, and some of it has not aged well, let me tell you, but some of it's actually pretty good. I've been putting the ones that are too painful for me to watch on private, because some of them, you just like, you feel so confident when you're starting out, and you're like, oh yeah, this is a good joke. People are gonna love this joke for years. No.
Yeah. I have content that technically goes back to 2015, but I don't think you can watch anything that starts as of 2018 or something. Fuego.
Yeah. So I watched, since I saw you guys last week, I watched 25 new movies since last week.
Insane person.
Yeah. Well, between Bliss, which was the Prime exclusive, which had Salma Hayek and Owen Wilson, this weird sci-fi kind of film. I watched Palmer, the one with Justin Timberlake, where he's kind of the caretaker for the kid. Finally watched that Lockdown movie on HBO Max with Anne Hathaway and I believe Chiwetel Ejiofor, I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot to comb from, but I'm actually going to be putting up a video later this evening with a few of my favorites. I'm thinking with the extent of stuff that I watch, I'm going to do every like late Monday or maybe sometime earlier. I haven't decided yet, but just kind of a wrap up a few of my favorites from the previous week, as opposed to just going all out. So once I get done with Minari this evening, I'm going to come back and film something. And we did also do a live thing yesterday on the horror show, basically doing a February wrap up. And then tomorrow on the horror show, I am putting up my review of the new Stephen King book, which is called Later. It's just a little hard case crime. Like 200 something pages, little paperback, and very excited to discuss that. So that'll be on the horror show tomorrow. New Stephen King. You guys know how much I love the guy.
Awesome.
Wait, you like Stephen King? I guess I've never heard you talk about Stephen King like an ever.
He's okay. I think Joe Hill, his son, is a little bit more talented, personally. But,
shots fired at Mr. King over here.
His kid is awesome though, man. Joe Hill's stuff is rad. So.
Nice.
You're talking about his books, I'm assuming?
Well, his books and his comics, because he did The Lock and Key, which was adapted into the show on Netflix, which I think they renewed for a third season recently. And but his novels are great. The Fireman is his version of The Stand. That's about to see its 5-year anniversary here in May, so I'm going to be revisiting that for the channel as well. So
nice.
Awesome.
Lots of cool stuff.
If you guys join me this weekend, you noticed that the Nightmare on Elm Street marathon got bricked. I forgot that you can't have audio. Warner stopped the marathon halfway through part 3. So I have to figure out how to plan B it. So I got an email as it went down. It's blocked. If you're on Twitch, you can watch 1 and 2 with me all the way through, but the video cuts out halfway through 3. Warner Brothers didn't like me watching their movies. So I don't know what to do about that, but I'll revisit the marathon idea. I just don't know how to do it without pissing anybody off, copyright-wise. Tomorrow I'll be doing a bit of a update stream as there's still no camera. There's no update on a camera too. So it's just streams here for me. So I'll be doing an update stream, and I might be doing something on We the Purple, trans stuff. And I'll be joining Cody Leach later this week to discuss Wrong Turn in a full spoilery mess. Otherwise, right back here in a week.
Heck yeah. We'll actually have a weekend of releases to talk about. So.
Box office. Crazy.
I know.
Up on the box office show. And then all the news that dropped in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right after we get done with the broadcast, some shit's going to hit. Always does.
So thanks to everybody in the chat. Did you have something else there?
Oh, I was just going to make a joke. Zack Snyder's going to drop the Justice League tonight, but only after we stop our stream. He's waiting for us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to do that, Pete. That's part of the problem. Yeah, I don't. That's what my point is. People are still watching Woody Allen, but they're not watching movies, and they're rating movies poorly because of the production by Ben Shapiro is absurd. It doesn't. That was my point. I didn't mean to compare them. They're not even remotely in the same discussion as far as.
I mean, they're the same person. Like, have you ever seen them in the same room together? Like, let's be real here, guys. Right. Okay. So, well, until next week, thank you all in the chat. Thank you for the super chats. Please stop that. We will see you in a week.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Chauncey.
Yeah,
Yes.
happy birthday, Chauncey.
Amen. Gracias.